Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Digital Pro Screen, and I'm moderator today, Qin Peng. Today we have a full event, and actually we are the ICT industry to do lots of things, and we have lots of speakers, and some speakers are online, and speakers here. And the first speaker comes, we will talk about enterprise, the sustainable transformation, especially the climate mitigation strategies. So we have three speakers. The first speaker is from Delta, China, and he's Mei Wu. She is chair of the ESG committee, Delta China. And our second speaker, Paul Peng, and he arrived yesterday. And right now he's our another meeting room in Dubai. And he is the chair of the group chief strategy officer of AUO, and he is also the chairman of the Taipei Computer Association, also our vice chair of the TCP, and also one from Austrade. You know, Austrade is a very huge energy company. We will invite Maria Virginia, and he's the head of the global sustainability. He will be online to join us. So maybe we can welcome the speaker Mei Wu from the Delta Great China. Let's welcome. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Peng, and I also want to thank you, TCP, to invite me to this panel. Before I start to introduce Delta's carbon management, I would like to talk about Delta in advance. Delta was founded in 1971. It's a global company to provide power electronic solutions. In 1920, in last year, our global revenue exceeded $12 billion and more than employees as 80,000 worldwide. In China, our revenue last year was over $7 billion and the employees over 40,000 last year. This is our revenue. Both revenue has maintained a stable growth for many years. About our business category, in leverage our core competence in power electronics, our business category divided into three parts. The first one is power electronics. These parts cover 60% of our total revenue, and you can see automotive here. Since green mobility is becoming more and more important, this automotive electronics will be our fourth business category in the next year. And automation, the third one is infrastructure. Infrastructure includes ICT, energy infrastructure, and industrial solutions such as smart grid and energy storage. This is our business categories. Our business strategy align with ESG development, align with our corporate mission, that is to provide innovative, clean, and energy solutions for a better tomorrow. In order to support global efforts to control global warming in line with 1.5 degree Celsius pathway, Delta's commitment, net zero. Our net zero commitment is there is a new short-term target that is to reduce Scope 1 and 2 greenhouse gas emission by 80% by 2030, and Scope 3 greenhouse emission will be reduced by 55%, the same as by 2030, on the base year of 2021. For the long-term target, we plan to reduce our Scope 1, 2, 3 greenhouse gas emission by 90%. That's by 2050. That's our SBT net zero commitment. All this commitment has passed SBTI 1.5 degree Celsius target validation last year. About the achievement, carbon reduction achievement, Last year, we have achieved annual target of a 13.5 global carbon reduction. And the key points of this achievement is Delta's revenue growth decoupled from carbon emission. That is our very key points of this our achievement. For the growth of 100% renewable energy, last year, the percentage of renewable electricity at Delta Global operation reached 63%, and the operation in Delta China innovations, such as we build up a new energy company to start up some green business. About the internal carbon pricing, we have a set increment internal carbon pricing fund. The price is about $300 tons per ton for CO2. The main fund is from our business group, and the money will goes to about some project, including energy and resources management solutions, renewable solutions, and low carbon innovation. We also investment the money to the circular economy and the green hydrogen energy and the low carbon transportation. We have allocated last year. We have allocated a budget of over 100 million through ICP last year. The main is to promote low carbon related projects. One of our projects sponsored by ICP is Zero Carbon Factory at our Wujiang plant. Our Wujiang plant implement Zero Carbon Factory project include to reduce electricity consumption and greenhouse gas emission low by 54%. The percentage of renewable electricity reach 100%. So we get both zero carbon certification and carbon neutral certification this August. This is one of our projects, Smart Grid. We integrated electric vehicle charging solution and a car PV solution and energy storage together. This will help our customer to save our energies. Delta's two owned Delta Center. We both received LEED V4 ID and Plus C Gold and Platinum certifications. We also provide our customers renewable and manageable flexible data center to our customer for many years. This is about our value chain and carbon reduced emission. Last year, the total greenhouse gas emission reached 7.1 billion tons CO2. The scope 1, the scope 3 covers account for 97%. Right now, we focus on our reducing on scope 3. That's our target is to reduce by 25% by 2030. The main project will focus on purchase of goods and services and the use of sold products. That's our target on scope 3. Since we have done so many works and recognition from outside, we received a Dow Jones Sustainability Index for many years, and the CDP includes climate change on A list, leadership, and water security on A list. Also, supply engagement is also a leader position. This is my last page, and I want to quote for our founder, Mr. Chen. Mr. Chen is a well-respected entrepreneur. He always remind our employee to improve our energy efficiency to solve the problems we face and do what is good for the society and the planet. He always said, it's not only good for us, it's always good for our the next generation. Thank you. This is my presentation.
Okay, thank you. Actually, Delta is a very well-known company in the world about the green enterprise. Actually, later on, probably I will ask May, what's the key you are leading to most of the company in the world? Okay, right now I will give the floor to Paul Peng from the AUO. Paul Peng, can you hear me? Yeah, Paul,
yes.
Please, the floor is yours. Yeah.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Paul from AUO Corporation. It's my pleasure to share with you how AUO creates green resilience and value under climate crisis. So firstly, we have a glance to AUO that we are 27 years old with 38,000 employees around the world. And we are the professional display makers. Over the last quarter centuries, we are dedicated to sustainable operation and has been listed in DJSI for 13 consecutive years since 2010. So our headquarters in Taiwan. We also have our display manufacturing in China, Singapore, and Slovakia, and as well as the service office around the world. So the display is an interface between human beings and information. So AUO strives to play a key role in helping people to visualize their desired future through our products and production. We also dedicate our efforts to building a sustainable future and better life. So on the road to sustainable future and better life, a huge issue we cannot ignore is the risk and impact of climate change. Facing the climate change, which has already been a crisis, it needs all of us action to move toward the net zero by 2050. However, achieving net zero could be the hardest challenge ever for industries. We have never faced this kind of challenge, which full of diverse pressures and complicated tasks, such as uncertainty of the energy supply, more ESG regulations compliance, economical recycle for business and supply chain decarbonization. To overcome all those challenges and achieving net zero, create a better future, enterprises need to respond actively and now, including invest green business, develop low carbon techniques, cultivate innovative talents, and deploy digital tools. So during the enterprise climate actions, we need to assess our green resilience to resist climate impacts and create a sustainable value to grasp climate opportunity. And one of these to face climate crisis is risk governance. Through predict, prevent, and prepare, we enhance climate resilience to build green competitiveness. Also, it is important to join global initiatives and organize net zero strategy and link our actions to UN SDG to create sustainable business. So AUO actively participates climate initiatives includes adopt TCFD is to disclose AUO's climate financial related information to shareholders, to stakeholders, and strengthen our climate resilience. Then we apply SPT and set an absolute carbon reduction target that's reduced 35% carbon emission by 2025 based on 2018. This emission was SPTI's approval. Then take a lead of global panel makers to commit and join IE100 to use 100% renewable energy by 2050. AU also utilize our local influence, drive the industry towards net zero through co-founding Taiwan Climate Partnership with Taiwan 8 leading companies, and also join the Taiwan Alliance for Net Zero Emission. We always value sustainable developments and practice. From the first commitments of AUO Green Solution in 2008, we had continued to implement environmentally friendly actions and embedding eco-friendly into operation. Then we strengthened our sustainable operation and organization with a systematic transformation in 2018 to drive the company's overall sustainable path. Now, in addition to AUO's own sustainable progress, we also would like to spread our influence and lead value chain partners to journey on sustainable climate action. So, to enhance sustainable resilience, we have been working on water saving, energy efficiency, and circular economy for many years. So on top of the water saving, we achieved 95% process water recovery rate with smart water management and further expand water recycling technology into a new business. To the energy efficiency, we encourage colleagues to propose electricity saving plan. Since 2016, we already have more than 5,000 energy saving plans and optimize production capacity and yield rate through big data, AIoT, which help us achieve 2.57% last year for the energy saving. To the circular economy, we have been create $1.3 billion economic benefit since 2018. This includes promote the reduction of and recycling of the raw materials in the manufacturing stage and introduce recycled materials to 33 products, develop share package materials to reduce the waste. Combining various efforts, AUO reduced organizational carbon emission by 16% and improved productivity by 40%. So all these actions have been highly recognized by the International Sustainable Manufacturing Award, such as WEF Lighthouse Factory, the US American Manufacturing Leadership Award, and German ROI EFESO Industry 4.0 Award. Then another one is that to the climate issues is the risk of the biodiversity loss. Those issues we cannot ignore, and we have to take action now. According to the WEF Global Risk Reports, biodiversity loss has been among the top 5 global risks for 4 consecutive years. The world's approximately $44 trillion and more than half of the world's GDP is moderately to highly correlated with the ecosystem service. If we don't take timely action, there will be some irreversible damage happen. Then a key to the impact of human activities on biodiversity and the environment is the improper use of plastics. According to the OPEC, global plastic production has doubled in the past 20 years, but only 9% have been properly recycled. The entire plastic life cycle's carbon emissions may account for 19% of the global carbon budget in 2040. and improper handling also cause negative impacts on 90% of SS species. In addition to the harming biodiversity, many studies also confirm that the improper use of plastics also harms human health and cause of loss of the society. In order to reduce the biodiversity impacts of plastic, we take corrective action and diverse actions. We declare in mid of this year that we will achieve plastic neutral by 2030. That is, by 2030, the amount of the plastic recycled or reused by AUO will equal to the amount AUO used during the operation. So through the 3R+1 strategy, replace, reduce, recycle, plus rethink, we start from green production, education, promotion to partner cooperation. This includes building a zero waste manufacturing center, de-plasticizing from original design of product materials, reducing plastic waste in factories, and encourage employees to join green actions. In terms of the partnership, we work with the customer and suppliers to introduce recycled plastic into the product. Looking to the future, all challenges require the entire value chain to act together. Thus, we start from our own sustainability actions and all works with the value chain partners in 6 aspects: sustainable manufacturing, green products, supply chain cooperation, renewable energy investment, plastic reduction, biodiversity action. We believe that work together, we can move towards a net zero future. So at the end, thank you for your listening and attention to AUO's experience and determination in facing the climate crisis. On the road to the net zero sustainability, it needs all of us work together in the future. Let us act on ESG together and share the goods. So this is my sharing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Paul. And you have a wonderful talk. And thank you, Paul. This time come to the Dubai and for we join us have a 3 talk, very wonderful talk, different type of point of view from the digital transformation and also the others. Very wonderful. And right now I will give the floor to Virginia Dundas. And actually her full name is Maria Virginia Dundas from Austria. Just we know Austria is quite famous in Taiwan because of the offshore wind farm. But however, beside the offshore wind farm, Austria have lots of business. Actually, it's a kind of very good, successful transformation. And Virginia Dundas also is the head of the climate and nature sustainability at Austria. Very lots of experience in this field. Okay, Virginia, the floor is yours. Please unmute. Please unmute. Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me and Ørsted here with you today. A special thanks goes to TCP for organizing this event and to you, Dr. Ben, for being a moderator today. There are 3 main messages that I would like to convey along these minutes that I have. The first one is the main message that Ørsted has come to COP28 to deliver, and it is that though emissions are still rising and temperatures are still rising, there is still a window of opportunity to stay on the course towards a 1.5 degree scenario, and that is to triple renewable energy capacity by 2030. This sounds the scale and the pace needed to deliver this triple of renewable energy capacity by 2030 is unprecedented, but it is still possible. And this is my second message. It is possible, and Ørsted is a living example that this is possible. And why do I say that? Well, Ørsted is today one of the largest renewable energy companies in the world and the absolute leader in offshore wind, responsible for 1/3 of the total installed capacity out there in offshore wind. We help our customers, both governments and private customers and corporations, to reach their climate and decarbonization and green energy goals. And we do so through the deployment of offshore wind, onshore wind, solar technologies, storage, as well as also power to X. We will soon be building one of the largest scale power to X facilities in Europe, in Sweden, that will be commissioned in 2025. And we have been recognized as one of the most sustainable companies in the world for 5 years in a row by the Global 100 list by Corporate Knights. We have been recognized, and we are one of the most sustainable energy companies. We were the first company in the industry to adopt a science-based net zero target. But many years ago, 10 to 15 years ago, we were a different company than the one we are today. In fact, we used to be one of the most coal-intensive energy utilities in the whole of Europe, with upstream oil and gas divisions, and also responsible for about 1/3 of emissions here in Denmark, in our home country. But we decided to transform to the company that we are today. And what caused that transformation 10 to 15 years ago? Well, we were experiencing back in the late 2000s, early 2010s, we were experiencing significant pressure in our bottom line because gas prices, oil prices were plummeting. So our senior leaders back in the moment decided to make a very bold decision to transform our business model from a model that wasn't relevant and sustainable in the long term to the business model that we are today, as a relevant and sustainable business model in the long term. And how did we did that transformation? Well, our senior leaders adopted a vision back then that was called the 80-40. We wanted to be at 80% renewable energy production by 2040, 3 decades from when we took that decision. And we actually made and reached that vision of 80% renewable energy production in 2017, exactly 1 decade after we started that transformation. So very, very fast, very successfully, exactly the same thing that the world is needing now today, accelerated scale of renewable energies at the pace needed. And how did we do that transformation? How did we got about from being a very fossil intensive company to a company fully dedicated to renewables? Well, that bold decision made us divest our upstream oil and gas divisions. It made us, we converted our power plants running on coal to running on certified sustainable biomass. And we also scaled significantly the build out of renewable energy, especially offshore wind. We were the first company ever in the world to install an offshore wind farm. We did that back in the 1990s. So we have a lot of capacity, a lot of knowledge about how to build offshore wind, which we sort of started scaling, but it was at the time quite a niche technology. So we worked together with our partners in the value chain and with various governments that were taking decisions on this, including the Taiwanese government, to make offshore wind a scalable and competitive technology, the competitive and scalable technology that is today. Where are we today in this journey of decarbonization? Well, our share of renewable energy in our own production is at 92% already, and we have reduced emissions in our own scope 1 and 2 in our own energy generation and operations by almost 90%. In 2 years' time, by 2025, we will be essentially emissions-free in our energy generations. And when we do so, we'll be the first major energy company in the world to achieve this transformation so successfully and so quickly, even ahead of what climate science says it's needed for the energy sector. We are very, very, very proud of this transformation. We're very proud of the work we've been doing to scale renewable energy and offshore wind. We have, back in 2017, we entered into the Asian Pacific market by making an investment decision on the Formosa offshore wind farm, which was the first wind farm, demonstrative offshore wind farm in Taiwan. But we're also very, very proud of the way we build renewable energy, which is in a way that it's built in balance with nature, and it brings a lot of the people along the journey. And this brings me to my third message that I want to bring here today, and that is that green energy, if built right, it can deliver much more value than the green electrons to help reach global climate goals and country decarbonization goals. It can be a force for good for nature and people. It can help boost good paying green jobs in the local communities where we're operating. It can help boost local supply chains. It can help upskill and train people, and it can also help revive nature. For instance, in Taiwan, through our presence in the many years that we've been there, we've been working very collaboratively and very, very closely together with local environmental NGOs, the fishermen community, with academia, and we have developed different partnerships to create and to skill the workforce, to create and bring new jobs, and also to help protect nature. For instance, with academia, we have recently, and about a year ago, launched a Recoral project where we're looking at growing coral reefs that are very, very affected by climate change in the foundations of our wind turbines at sea. And all of this that we do it in pursuit of our vision of creating a world that runs entirely on green energy. That's why I'm urging all of our partners and customers and governments together to continue to do our part to create the enabling conditions to be able to triple renewable energy by 2030, and to do so in a manner that works for people and for nature. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Virginia. You have a wonderful talk. Had you come to Taiwan before?
No, not yet, but I look very much forward to being there soon.
Yeah. Oh, I hope probably you can come to Taiwan to see the offshore wind farm you Australia made. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Welcome, the Mei Wu. Can you sit here? Yeah. I have several questions to our outstanding three speakers. And my first questions will be to the Mei Wu, and she is from the Delta Electronic, because just I mentioned Delta Electronic is a very leading company about the green enterprise. I'm wondering, because I know that your former president, Honorable President Zheng Chonghua, and very well known, and he have a lot of the ambitions to push everyone how to do that. And what do you think is the key to Delta Electronic low carbon transformation leading most companies?
Okay, as I mentioned before, our Delta's founder, Bruce Chen, he's a well-known entrepreneur. He always encouraged our employees to improve our product efficiency and provide some solutions for our customers. That's the first one. The second one is our business development and the ESG align together. They are on the same way. The third one is our company's top management. They always encourage our employees, and they support all corporate management projects. That is the key of my questions.
Okay, wonderful. And just I know the Delta Electronic, you have foundation. You attend the COP meeting since year 2007. Very early, very early. I remember during that time, only limited enterprise to join, but Delta Electronics is the first one. I think in the first one, and also in the other country also is very pioneer, because right now this year, the recent year, the COP had already changed. Lots of enterprise will like to join. For example, TCP is also a very good example to join together to do that. Okay, I have a question to Paul Peng. And yesterday you talked about, for example, we talked about a twin transformation. Paul Peng talked about the leadership, how to the leadership. This is yesterday. He shows, wow, very wonderful digital transformation and something. Can you have a very clear answer or talk to the public, what are the key tasks, please?
Okay, thank you to the fans' question. I think as a leader, we have several key missions to take. So here I prepare a page just to summarize what we look at to for the future, the 5 key focuses. So firstly, we got to apply the digital technology and share resources to improve the ESG quality and effectiveness. And second one is that we got to deepen circular economy, that the value chain alliances to expand business opportunities and improve circularity performance. Number 3, enhance the corporate climate resilience, reduce the ecological impact, start carbon financial management, and establish the best carbon reduction technology. Fourthly, here I would like to highlight again, yesterday when I was in digital cross screen, also highlight the same thing, that talent is everything to execute for all those missions. So how to cultivate the sustainable talents to improve the talents, ability of technology, professions, and diversity. Lastly, strengthen the risk management by implement for accountability and keep aligned with the global trends and compound risk control. So these are the 5 focuses. I think I would like to have this advice to the future leaders. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. 5 key focus, very wonderful talking from the Paul Peng, and these 2 leading company actually is, I think in most of the country, the good example is very important to educate most of the enterprise. They can do everything they want, especially the climate change issues. And I will have questions to the Virginia. And the first question is, what is the biggest challenge you encountered during the Austrade green transformation? Because Austrade in the very early stage, just I know, it's not the Austrade we know right now. And how to communicate with these stakeholders, please?
Yes. Thank you for the question. Yes, as I have mentioned today, Ørsted 10 years ago was a very different company than what we are today. And doing that transformation from being a company fully dedicated to fossil fuels to being the company fully dedicated to renewables was a necessary transformation to stay relevant as a business, but it was also quite a difficult. And one of the most challenging things has been sort of making sure, understanding how to take and how to go through those near-term sacrifices to give way to that long-term sustainable and relevant business model. So it wasn't that easy to make that transformation, but it was necessary, and it required a lot of vision, a lot of leadership from our senior leaders to get through all of the different changes that we needed to do in our business model. That has been the most difficult thing to do, but it was also what actually created and enabled that transformation. So the message to key stakeholders around here is that it is possible. It might be difficult. You need to sort of look and always have an eye on the long-term vision and where you're headed, and be able to be prepared to go through some near-term sacrifices in terms of different things to be able to give way to that long-term profitability. That has been the most difficult thing to do. It is difficult. You go through a lot of different changes in the near term, but once you are through it, you become a much more relevant business in the long term.
Yeah, I'm wondering, such as the 2 companies, the leadership they mentioned is very important. I'm wondering, in Austrade, the leadership, or is a kind of a culture from the beginning of Austrade? The leadership is important for the transformations?
Yes, the leadership is absolutely important, and having the courage to make bold decisions, looking at the demand signals and the power signals and where the world is going, what customers are asking, where regulations are going. And I think what we're seeing today in the world is that many regulations and many countries are moving and adopting climate decarbonization goals. And that is creating the incentives for many companies, not only in the energy industry, but in other industry to dare, to push them to dare to take those decisions. But it requires that very, very, very bold, very pragmatic leadership that dare to make those steps.
Okay, thank you. I'm wondering, in this COP, in the beginning, we don't know, they propose renewable energy, especially maybe of offshore wind power, should be triple. What do you think the trend is very good and or is a challenge for the offshore wind farm, or just like Austria in your industries?
Can you repeat the question? The sound has hacked a bit on my end.
Okay, actually, in this COP, in the beginning of this COP28, lots of the pledges mention the renewable energy should be triple, or actually triple. The triple means lots of growth about this. So in some country, it's not easy to very quickly to follow the trend, the challenge. It will be a kind of challenge in most of the country. What's the thinking about the Austria when you see the pledge of the triple of the offshore wind farm? Is good or is a challenge for you?
I think it is still very, very challenging. We're talking about a lot of renewable energy that needs to be deployed in a very short time. And one of the key things that are relevant to enable that fast build out at scale, it's to make sure that we make that build out work for people and work for nature. That is, we need to build green energy right. And by right, we mean at the scale and pace needed, but also in a manner that it's built in balance with nature, where we are coexisting with other users of the sea. We're protecting nature, and also we're doing in a manner where we're also helping to create jobs and boost socioeconomic development there where we are operating. So having enable framework conditions in the countries where we're present that also value, not only value cost and the price, but also value what the value that green energy brings to society and to nature alike. It's a really, really important thing to enable that fast build out at scale, that tripling of renewable energy capacity at scale.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I open the floor to the audience. Anyone have questions? Yeah, anyone have questions? Yeah, anyone? Any people online have questions? You can send a message here. Okay, this time we talk about the transformation. Such as kind of transformation is very important, especially the mitigation transformation. So such as kind of topic we shall continue, especially this today and also yesterday we talked a lot about the digital and green transformation. Such as kind of mechanism. There were lots of factors. For example, the Delta Electronic, they follow the UFCCC. They is a first mover during the COP. Since year 2007, and they already have lots of progress, and the leadership is also very important. And also the AUO, the Paul Peng, he talked about lots of his experience, key focus about this one, and that is very good for the enterprise to learn. Is a very good practice to do. And also from the Austria, just I know the Austria is not the Austria we know before, and but right now the Austria is just a leading company in the world. So such is kind of good example. We hope everybody can learn something and they can do something in the future. Okay, let's finish our side event. Thank you very much. Thank you all the speakers. Give me a pause. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you.